I used to think there was no secret to going pro in Fortnite and that all you had to do is just work hard and grind every single day for 10 hours a day and then eventually you'll make it. But why is it that some players made millions playing this game, while others can't even make their first earnings? Well, soon this is all gonna make perfect sense, because I discovered a fundamental shift in how you should view the game. This video is not about a simple in-game strategy like rotating dead side or playing Storm. No, this is something much deeper than that and a lot more important. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Fragger Mike. On this channel, my goal has always been to motivate you guys, to educate you and to inspire you, to become the best version of yourself and achieve the most results in-game. About 1.5 years ago, I came back to Fortnite competitive myself, starting off at 0 PR and 0 earnings, to kind of show you guys how to level up in this game and how to make more progress than you're doing right now. And as some of you will know, I made my first earnings 2 weeks later, using the exact lesson I'm gonna share in this video. And then I just continued making progress and I eventually reached 5k PR and I qualified for Division 1. Now the reason you clicked on this video is because the title definitely interested you. And I think you're sensing the fact that I'm gonna share something that will completely change how you view the game, and it's gonna help you achieve a lot more success a lot faster. Because what we need to talk about is your relationship with winning and losing. The way you're thinking about winning and losing right now is probably the reason why you're not making as much progress as you want. So let me just ask you a question. What describes you best? Do you love winning? So think back to the times you've achieved a goal, or you learned a new skill, or you won a tournament. Do you just love winning, or do you hate losing? So think back to the times you've lost a tournament in Fortnite. How do you feel? If you didn't care at all, then you probably don't hate losing. But for most of you, you'll probably say, I hate losing. But what if I told you that it doesn't matter which one of these mindsets you have? Because they are both wrong. Everyone always tells you to become obsessed with winning and to try really hard. But the mindset you think is helping you win is actually holding you back a lot. Just listen to what the NBA champion Kobe Bryant has to say about this.
I always think that there's two types of players. Players who love to win and players who hate to lose. Which one are you?
I'm neither. You know, I play to figure things out. I play to learn something, right? Because I think if you play with fear of failure, or you play with the will to win, or that supersedes the fear of failure, I think it's a weakness either way. Because if you play with the fear of failing, you'll have the pressure on yourself, you know, to capitulate to that fear. If you play with the sense of I want to win, then you have the fear of what happens if you don't. But if you find common ground in the middle, in the center, then it doesn't matter. You're unfazed by either, right? And that enables you to really just stay in the moment, stay connected to it, and not feel anything other than what's in front of you. So, you know, I try to just be dead center.
If you place too much importance on winning or losing, you create this tension, and instead of being able to play to the best of your abilities and entering a state of flow, when you play a tournament, your brain is malfunctioning. It starts choking, it starts losing fights, it starts getting nervous, maybe your hands are shaking. What probably happened to you is you start playing a tournament and the start doesn't really go that well. And then you start to become fully depressed and your brain just shuts off. Do you think in that state of mind you're playing to the best of your ability? Hell no. Pro players, they are not constantly worried about what will happen if they lose or if they win. They are just locked in, and that's it. But here's the problem. You cannot just stop caring, right? It's very difficult to just not care. And are you not only trying not to care because you actually care a lot? It seems like a bit of a paradox, and what most players try to do is they play a bunch of tournaments to hopefully become a bit numb to the pain of losing. Like if you've played over 100 tournaments and you've lost like 90 tournaments, you don't really care if you lose another one. Like one more loss, it doesn't really register, it doesn't feel like a big deal. And this is why some pro players, they say to get confidence, you just need to play a bunch of tournaments. I mean, they're kind of right, but it's not the best solution. Because I'll tell you from personal experience, I have always hated losing, and it never changed. Like I remember being like 8 years old playing Monopoly with my mother, and I used to cry my eyes out whenever I lost the game. Like I got so mad and sad every time that I lost. And that feeling never really went away. And so what I had to do is I had to change how I viewed failure. I'll show you another clip of Kobe Bryant because he just explains it so well.
So a lot of people in general are afraid of failure. How did you become one of those people who doesn't seem to be afraid of failing?
It doesn't exist. It's not existent. What the hell does that mean? Seriously, what does failure mean? It doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination. If you fail on Monday, The only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not progress from that, right? So to me, that's why failure is not existent. Because, you know, if I fail today, okay, I'm gonna learn something from that failure and I'm gonna try again on Tuesday. And I fail, and I'm gonna try again on Wednesday. So it doesn't exist.
This is the exact mindset I had when I made my first earnings. Instead of being so obsessed about winning, I shifted my entire focus to the long-term improvement. I was like, yeah, if I lose this tournament, it's not the end of the world, nothing really changes. All I have to do is just go in replays, figure out my mistakes, and learn from them. And so I saw a massive difference in my performance before and after this mindset shift. The first tournament I played like 1.5 years ago, I placed top 72,000 in the Solo Victory Cup Opens, and I didn't even qualify to finals. But in that 2-week period, I had to lower the importance of winning, and it just made me play 10 times better. And so I didn't only qualify, I even made my first earnings within 2 weeks. It is literally impossible to become better at this game without losing. Every single player that you look up to has failed more than you can imagine. Like these players, they are playing in the hardest scrims, and so they're losing all their scrims. They're playing against the best players in tokens, and so they lose all of their tokens. But that's because they figured out that losing is actually the way to succeed. And if losing hurts you to the point of almost quitting the game, then you don't have a performance problem. You have a mindset problem. And this will also create performance problems. Instead of playing confident and going on an early rotate or playing for height or getting a refresh, you start playing very passive. You're no longer trying to win, you're just trying not to lose. And so you'll see some players only get like top 10s and top 20s because they're so focused on trying not to lose that they can't even win. Instead of placing too much importance on the outcome of a single tournament, what you have to do is shift your entire focus to your long-term improvement. Because then it doesn't really matter if you win or lose, as long as you improve. If you lose a tournament, it's fine. You just go in replays and figure out your mistakes. And you just level up week after week. Like when I see someone playing a very bad tournament, I'm like, there's a learning opportunity. Losing doesn't have to be a bad thing. Making mistakes is actually the way you learn. But what happens to most people is they take it personally. They think if they lose a tournament or if they fail at something, that they are a failure, that they are a loser. Instead of just seeing it like a stepping stone towards their success, you see it as proof that you are worthless, that you suck. But as long as you believe that, you can never play freely, you can never play to the best of your abilities, you can never reach flow state in your tournaments. It will always feel like there's like an invisible ceiling that you can't break past. If you would like me to go into that topic a little deeper, then you can comment self-image. If enough people comment self-image, then I'll make a video about that. But from now on, I want you to be very conscious of how much importance you're placing on these tournaments. If you care too much about a certain tournament, then you might want to come back to this video. Your success in the long term is only possible if you have a healthy relationship with winning and losing. Because as long as you just keep grinding and keep improving and learning from your mistakes, progress is inevitable.